Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Gonna read through the full article here. There's a link in the description. I'll start off by giving you a bit of an overview. Well, we'll start with the headline. In New York, Queens, a gunman has shot two correction officers at a Queens bar. The specific bar is called the Showtime Bar and Lounge. So I'll just let you know that both of the correction officers that were shot are fine. They're fine. They're certainly in stable condition. So that's a blessing, of course. A 32-year-old woman was shot in the foot. A 31-year-old man was shot in the hand. So they've both been taken to the Jamaica hospital. The 31-year-old had surgery on his hand, but as far as we understand, ultimately they're both okay. Neither of them are in critical condition. Hopefully the gentleman that was shot in the hand does make a full recovery. But this is just another incident of the violence that's happening in New York, across many different areas of New York. So this happened early Saturday morning at around 1:30 a.m. Police said the gunman had been kicked out of the bar, Showtime Bar and Lounge, but returned shortly afterwards with a firearm and began shooting into the establishment from outside. So it sounds like a patron who was angry, perhaps he was drunk and told to, have an early night, whatever it was. He was angry. So he took out his anger by shooting into the bar from outside. Two correction officers were shot, as I say. A 32-year-old woman shot in the foot. A 31-year-old man was shot in the hand. The Corrections Officer Benevolent Association president has said that the investigations are such that it is not believed that the two correction officers were targeted. They were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Again, both were transported to the Jamaica hospital. The gentleman that was shot in the hand has undergone surgery, and that's really all we know. So it wasn't a purposeful attack on the corrections officers, but it's just another example of, I'm going to say, the insanity, the extreme violence which is occurring time and time again in New York, complete lawlessness. What was the motivation? We don't know, and the investigation's underway. But from what we see here, my speculation is utter madness. The motivation would be expression of anger. And this is something which I'm seeing time and time again. Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but that's what it seems to me. Rage. A lot of people are facing rage issues. If they're angry with something, if they're upset, they do this outlandish things. They shoot at people, seemingly indiscriminately. In this case, he was standing outside, or the suspect, who remains on the loose, was standing outside of the establishment, just shooting in, seemingly at random. That's not normal. That's not normal. So there was no motivation of robbery. It wasn't targeting an individual by the look of it. Maybe it was, but, it doesn't look like that way to me. Just an expression of rage. And we've seen this, again, I'm rambling, but we've seen violent acts. We've seen Asians in New York being attacked by, I'll say it, but more often than not by members of the black community, but in random attacks. We're seeing cars crash into cafes, patrons on the pavement in a cafe. We're seeing all of this kind of thing, which to me makes no sense. If you're going to rob somebody, that's not a good thing. I'm not, of course, condoning that, but at least there is a reason there. At least there is a motivation to gain monetary value, perhaps to satisfy a drug addiction or such. But this, my take on it, and I could be wrong, but my take on it is this guy was kicked out of the bar. Maybe he was too drunk. He was misbehaving in one way or another. He was kicked out legally, my guess. You know, the managers, the owners of the establishment thought, we don't want you here. You know, you're not behaving well. Perhaps it's a dress issue, whatever it happens to be. But they're entitled to have these rules and these, these rules. They kick out the guy, the patron, and then the patron just starts shooting up the place. It's just utter madness. I know I've rambled. Apologies for that. I'm going to wrap things up here. If you do like this type of content, please do give me a little bit of encouragement. Like, comment, subscribe. Sharing the video would be great. If you have any information, of course, do contact the appropriate police department, Queens, New York. Stay safe out there, guys. Stay safe. Be vigilant. There are absolute weirdos out there. And I think there's more madness, more rage than there normally is. I'm not allowed to tell you my actual true feelings as to what might be causing that. If I were to say, many of you will think I'm crazy, and others may want to report me to YouTube for saying, some level of misinformation. But honestly, personally, I believe that there are reasons as to why we're seeing an increase in rage and madness. I think there are reasons for it. And if I'm right, if what I believe the reasons are, things are only going to get worse. Things will not get better. And it's not just about New York. New York seems to be particularly bad. I'm sure there's many reasons for that, but it's not just New York. This kind of rage, this kind of sheer insanity, this violence, we're going to continue to see this all over, in my view. So again, do stay safe out there. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.